There will be a large number of people who won't have been following a case like this.
All right, fellas, let's go.
People who are interested in news and politics and law do. And so we see this happen all the time, most recently in the prosecution of Steve Bannon, where really the judge had very little trouble helping the lawyers on both sides select a jury that simply didn't have any sort of a view walking into the room about Steve Bannon.
So you're saying that there's a chance that a jury, an impartial jury, can be chosen. They may not know if the president took the Fifth Amendment, or the former president.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is the sort of consideration that often as we're looking at the news of the day, we think, oh, it's impossible. Everybody will know about this. 6 months, 10 months down the road, when a jury is being dire, that's the questioning that the judge and the lawyers use to determine whether there's any bias among prospective members of a jury. It's really very interesting to see how many people you get who are involved in their own daily lives and aren't as involved in the facts of your case.
And Joyce, switching gears to the FBI search at Mar-a-Lago, there is a lot of confusion over the serving of that search warrant. Can you clarify something for us? When someone is served with a search warrant by the FBI, what kind of paperwork do they get, and are they allowed to share that with the public?
What the fuck going on? Why the shit I played Redskins? You know well, Washington. What the fuck going on with that?
Absolutely has the ability to share it. But the information that the person whose property is being searched received is only a part of the package that the Justice Department prepares. There are really 4 important pieces of paper. The first piece is an application to get a search warrant. That's the piece of paper where DOJ typically lays out the statutes, the criminal violations that it's investigating. Trump didn't get that. We likely won't see that. That's part of the materials that go under seal. But then the search warrant itself, which the judge signs off on, it he or she finds that there's probable cause for a search, that document is left at the residence, in this case at Mar-a-Lago. And Trump didn't have that. That will talk primarily about the conditions under which the search can be conducted and what the items to be seized might look like. So that's available. There's usually an attachment behind that page. There's a block on that form that calls for a detailed listing of what items can be searched. Usually that's attachment B. That too would be received by someone like Trump, along with what's called a return of service, a form that the agents fill out after the search, and they list an inventory of items that they've seized for the property owner to retain. I have wondered in a situation like this where the documents appear to involve national security, whether that might not be a very vague list or in some ways redacted. I don't think it will be as robust as it would normally be. So that's what Trump has. And the final document, the document that we all want to see but won't have any access to, is the affidavit that the agent would have prepared for the judge to see. That's the recitation of all the reasons that prosecutors and agents believe probable cause to search exists. Unfortunately for all of us who are curious about the details, that document too will be sealed. Very
Joyce, thanks so much for following this for us. Now to signs. Breaking tonight, a home explosion leaving 3 dead in Evansville, Indiana. Take a look at this. This is security camera footage. The thing. It happened just after 1 p.m. there. Officials saying the explosion also damaged multiple homes in the surrounding area. Let's bring in NBC's Jesse Kirsch live with the late-breaking details tonight. Jesse, what more do we know about this explosion? Oh, Gotti, right now we know that this deadly blast was powerful enough to damage 39 homes. That's according to the Evansville fire chief, who says the ATF is now involved. And while the federal blast analysis is ongoing, the search for victims is currently on pause. I want to show you that video again. You just showed it there, Gotti. And here's another look at it, because if you look closely, you see all that debris flying in the air, but it also appears that some of the debris is coming all the way down the block to where this camera was placed. Just gives you an idea of how powerful this blast appears to be. The fire chief says there is a 100-foot radius around the blast site that is currently not searchable. So far, 1 person has been taken to the hospital for treatment, according to the fire department. And thankfully, we're told no firefighters were injured. We're, of course, going to be watching for the latest developments on this breaking story, because when you look at the images from the scene there, Gotti, clearly unanswered questions about what could have caused this, how this unfolded, and how many people may be unaccounted for right now, because again, Gotti, we are not allowed, according to officials, they are not allowed to get all the way up to this blast site because of the federal investigation. Looking at that aftermath, you got to wonder, what does this mean for all the people that live in
We on.
Yeah, and obviously some of these people are going to be in mourning tonight. We're told 3 people are dead, with 39 homes damaged at some degree. You can imagine other people might be displaced, and even if someone's home wasn't damaged in that neighborhood, there's the potential that if they are
We in our blue,
they may
bruh.
not be able to go home either. So officials are directing people to a nearby shelter site for the time being. But again, Gotti, a lot of unanswered questions here. Thank you. Now to signs of inflation possibly cooling down. The leading indicator unchanged from June, but still up 8.5% from last July. The drop likely fueled by gas prices falling for 57 days in a row. That news pushing...
Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel.
Long ass quarters. Wow. Let's go. Let's hold on.
With the New York Giants.
This motherfucker still put on his blue.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Garcia Nevin's chocolate business have jumped 10 to 15%, forcing her to postpone expansion plans and charge customers.
Most people know, and most people are aware that there's inflation, that we are in a sort of a strange economic times.
Meanwhile, housing costs have jumped 5.7% in a year. Rents also soaring. Jordan Hubbard gets assistance to attend NYU in Manhattan, but is now struggling to find a place to live during his senior year.
When I first showed up to NYU, rent was $1,100, $1,200, and that was affordable, but now at being over $1,600, that's just not a thing for me anymore.
The hope tonight that inflation may have peaked earlier this summer, and with 50-year low unemployment, a full recession could be less likely.
If we can indeed lower the rate of price increases, lower inflation, then...
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football and Big D as their guys will do battle with the New York Giants.
All right, fellas, let's go.
We got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Tyler Lockett now with the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
And former Fed economist Julia, the consumer price index shows inflation seems to be cooling now. Do you think that this is a turning point in the economy?
It certainly could be a turning point in inflation.
Now Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. These two teams met at MetLife Stadium earlier this year with the Giants winning that one. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Dallas. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Throwing, Jones.
Ah, good D, good D.
The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on third down, a 3-and-out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
Here's Jones to throw on third down.
All by himself.
He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
So does inflation cool off while the labor market still has enough momentum to carry the economy forward? I would say that recent has been pretty hopeful.
To throw again on second down. Jones. Flushed out right. He hits his target, Lockett. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And a small collection of documents. This comes as Texas Governor Greg Abbott repeatedly sends thousands of migrants from the border state to Democrat-run cities like Washington, D.C. and New York, all since May. A move triggered...
Ball at the 14 for second and 5. From the gun, Jones. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game.
In addition to Washington, D.C., New York City is the
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
and now asking the federal government for assistance. All of the ACLU Texas and National calling the federal government to investigate Texas' act. Abbott says he will not stop sending buses until the Biden administration...
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
Thank you, Zay Gray. Next tonight, the Department of Justice is charged an Iranian man with plotting to murder former national security.
It'll be a handoff to Pollard, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now, these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try the left side.
The fuck is that shit?
Play is blown up, losing yardage back at
See
the
the glitch on me?
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were fantastic a week ago with that win over Houston.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Prescott, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
My fault. That's my fault. That's my fault.
And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a give here to Pollard. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Now Prescott. Wide open receiver complete.
Play the end, baby.
To the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Lockett, the return. And he returns this to the 22.
So all of the warning dots on this map show you where we currently have flash flood warnings. Way too many for me to mention. There's the one around Baltimore right now. We have one around Virginia Beach. And then these are the ones we worry about in the mountainous areas of West Virginia, right along the border here, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and numerous flash flood warnings.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones, flush to his right, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones completes it to Evan Ingram. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up.
You got to stay home. Stay home, baby.
Laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. These two teams all tied after one. Second and 2. Back to throw again. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Fucked us up with that one, too.
There, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They'll look to throw again. And Ingram hauls it in. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Way to recover. Way to recover.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Jones.
Damn.
Ingram's got it.
Good shit.
Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Giants have taken the lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Prescott. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be
good hustle, good hustle.
44-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
They'll run on 1st down. Goodson. Ooh, with a juke. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And to give this time to the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. Dexter Lawrence that time in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Accordingly, she also strongly denies her husband's claims of abusing him and their children emotionally and physically, adding they are concerned false allegations have been made by her husband in an attempt to gain an advantage.
Now Pollard. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Put too much on it.
Incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Yeah, well, Chip Lawyer tells us right now they're hoping for charges actually brought against Henry. Anything from spousal abuse to attempted murder, but so far the DA has not brought those charges. Her attorney denies any wrongdoing in this case. As for Chip himself,
Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it. Now Prescott on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the 1st down. It's now 1st and goal.
Pointing the finger at the airlines. They're pointing the finger back. Mr. Secretary, when is this going to get better?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7.
These days, it feels like the news never stops. So let's get into it. What's happening right now? What it all means for you for an hour every day. It can be hard to keep up, so let's get started together.
Howard Jackson now, weekdays at 5, NBC News Now. Our show is about sparking conversations around today's biggest issues. The Fed raises interest rates, now controls inflation. Explain how that works. Is part of this that everyone's rethinking their job and their relationships with their employers? Can you just remind us why?
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Residents in the area urged to stay inside.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
New details tonight in the search for a missing 16-year-old.
Motherfucker.
And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Now to a plane crash on a highway in California. Two people inside the single-engine plane walking away from the fiery wreck after that impact last call. NBC's national correspondent Miguel.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Is that me? Is that my responsibility? What's going on, baby?
Up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. They'll let this go for the end zone.
Oh, come on, man.
Incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
So far, no injuries or deaths have been reported in either country. Unrest in western Mexico after authorities captured several cartel bosses. New video shows firefighters working to put out a semi-truck fire. And officials say dozens of trucks and cars and businesses were all set ablaze. Officials say the fires are likely an effort by cartels to distract authorities during prison transports. And Kenya followed the call during a tight presidential race. Preliminary results show the country.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got a boat down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now a 2nd down and 6. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
So many times we've seen him trying to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Have you seen a demand for mental health services?
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. to throw. Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball.
He certainly had a good
Burn
game
my
throwing the
dude,
ball
too.
so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
One more time.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Jones throwing on 4th down. And
nope.
It's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back.
An entire generation of kids growing up as refugees.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no.
Nope.
They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds.
No momentum,
so
no momentum.
Completion here.
Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make?
All right, they showing love on the inside, fellas.
Hockey winning coach Herb Brooks. I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half. So make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps. But above all, play your game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Then on to Germany, where they had nowhere to live. He spent 2 months living.
Here's Pollard again. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Max's family returned to Kyiv after the Russians retreated to the east. What was the first thing you
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Prescott.
Dak, you're putting a little bit too much on it, bruh.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 2nd and 10, Prescott.
Good deal. Good deal.
A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his
He's just
running back out
calling
of
the
the backfield, but that one
same
was
D over
read
and over
and
on
timed
it.
perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Prescott yet again.
Wow.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Off play action. Jones.
Gotta come up. Gotta come up.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2nd and 6. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Jones. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
McPherson's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10.
This is a long-ass game.
Points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Wait a minute. I know
what they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one in the
game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Prescott now. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. To throw is Prescott.
Damn. Okay, good catch. You got lucky on that one. I ain't mad.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with it.
Damn, Dak.
Fires one that's intercepted.
That's it.
By the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
Oh, no, that ain't it. What the fuck, though, bruh? Killing me, Dak. Killing me, man.
Now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Today's Consumer Price Index report and what it means for your wallet. President Biden signs legislation providing health care to workers exposed to toxic inputs. Raising Lopez Torres joins us to talk about the fight to get the housing the care he needs. And
catch made by Slayton. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Speaking out more about the FBI search of his Mar-a-Lago residence. Today he posted on his social network, Truth Social. He addressed the box.
The Giants on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing Jones. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Mr. Trump's version of events. A Secret Service official says they knew the FBI was coming and let the agents into Mar-a-Lago. They arrived around 9 that morning and left around 6:30 that evening. Now, it gets the president's claim that they were there.
Now Jones.
There we go.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
On first down, Pollard. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
I think it's something that we have to continue to take a look at.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Good job starting on that scramble. Had his eyes on that first down marker, CD, but lost the most important thing, the football.
Yeah, wasn't quite there. Focused solely on getting to the first down marker. Forgot to cover up and take care of the ball.
That in some way to confirm that that information is declassified. So, there are still a lot of open questions here. And
the Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
All right, let's see if we can do it again.
Clock and try to add on to this slim 4th quarter lead, but whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture. Jabril Cox there on the tackle.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
They really want to remain silent on it, and it would be a tremendous break in protocol if they came forward and suddenly made derogatory statements about the former president. I had, one official say that. It's like that. What Republicans want is that they want the Justice Department to come out and try this case in the press and just basically make them
about set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he sneaks his way forward
only for a couple here, second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Prescott. And he's going to hook up.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
They follow up the game of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing there, but this pass is going to
Damn, we needed that, baby.
He might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually excellent target.
I needed that one bad.
Catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now Dak.
Ooh, good D, good D, good D.
Throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Prescott.
Damn. Ooh, okay then.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Here's Dak. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
So a big call there that brings up 4th.
That's bullshit.
Misleading financial statements, as though his testimony, had he testified today, could be used in that investigation, which is
How the fuck they give you that play action?
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Prescott. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
To throw, Prescott. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
All right, so the Cowboys will go for 2 here. Now Prescott. And it is caught. They got the 2 points, and with it, they've taken the lead. The kickoff unit is out.
All right, play some defense.
Send this one away. Lockett the return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit, get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here, relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. Jones. Eluding the pressure right. And he will get out of bounds here to stop the clock, but not a huge pickup there. 6, maybe 7. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Between Hunt's team and DOJ, that's what it fell through, and they felt like they needed to go and preserve this evidence before it's destroyed somehow.
Real quick before we go, you mentioned in terms of protecting the former president's rights by saying to the public. Elaborate on that.
Well, anyone who gets accused and is being investigated for a crime is being rights. Even if they're charged or not charged. And so, my point is that we're going to come out and detail
Jones. That's going to be caught by Tony. And they will get the conversion on 3rd down, but the clock, a more pressing factor. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jones. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And Katie ain't good game, fellas. That's what's up.
Picked off at the 23. And the Cowboys have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield.
That's
and make
what's
their
up.
plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
Oh, okay, we got to call a play, I guess.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Dallas, the win will be number 11 for them on the year.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Giants, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
If it is proven that he violated federal law by taking classified documents without authorization, he could be convicted of a felony. Congress passed a bill upgrading that from a misdemeanor. President Trump signed that upgrade into law in 2018. We've got much more to talk about this hour, including a new law to support injured veterans. President Biden signed a bill to address the damage of toxic burn pits. An advocate for the bill joins us live. But up next, inflation. It's actually easing up, but don't feel bad if you can't tell. We'll dig into what is getting cheaper and what's not.
Especially being a new dad, like we're out buying diapers, we're out buying everything that you need for a little one, and as well as just food and all of those types of things.
As we look out over the latest city turn crime scene, we see the things left behind.
The day's biggest political stories with trusted insight now and expert analysis now. A daily look at the politics behind the headlines. Meet the Press Now, streaming weekdays at 4 p.m. on NBC News Now. Dateline and City of America. Hear their stories, help bring them home. Tonight we interview Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg about the ongoing delays. You seem to be pointing the finger at the airlines. They're pointing the finger back. Mr. Secretary, when is this going to get better?
We're here to start conversation about the big things happening in our world. Because it's not my job to tell you what to think. My job is to think about what you tell me.
Now tonight with Joshua Johnson, streaming weeknights at 8 on NBC News Now.
No stress, no mess, just young. That's it.
Top Story with Tom Atlas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
The Seduction, Dateline's newest podcast. Listen now.
It's the best time of the morning, Tom. You know the vibes down the show.
These days, it feels like the news never stops. So let's get into it. What's happening right now, what it all means for you for an hour every day. It can be hard to keep up, so let's get started together.
Allie Jackson Now, weekdays at 5 on NBC News Now.
We're here to start conversation about the big things happening in our world. Because it's not my job to tell you what to think. My job is to think about what you tell me.
Now tonight with Joshua Johnson, streaming weeknights at 8 on NBC News Now.
No stress, no mess, just young. That's it.
America's gas prices are still much higher than last year, but they're coming down. AAA says today's national average is $4.01 a gallon. But many consumer costs are not coming down yet. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says overall inflation in July was up about 8.5% from a year ago. But from this June to this July, there was 0% inflation, at least on paper. Here's what that really means.
Today, we received news that our economy had 0% inflation in the month of July. 0%. Here's what that means. While the price of some things went up last month, the price of other things went down by the same amount. The result, 0 inflation last month. The people are still hurting, but 0 inflation last month.
Did you catch that? More specifically, last month prices for gasoline and natural gas utilities went down, but prices for food, electricity, and shelter went up. They kind of cancel each other out. And that's why we have to be careful when we ask if inflation is up or down. Which inflation? For what expenses? Over what span of time? It's complicated. But one thing is simple to grasp. Nearly everything costs more than last year. Food costs are up about 11%. That is the largest yearly increase since 1979. Gas is 44% higher than last year. Energy is up nearly 33%. And airfare is up nearly 28%. Let's talk through all of this with Caleb Silver, editor-in-chief at Investopedia. Good to see you again. Welcome back.
Good to be with you.
What do you make of these latest numbers in terms of some of this canceling out effect of inflation month to month, but then a reduction year over year?
Yeah, well, it's a good sign because maybe we did actually peak a couple of months ago in terms of overall prices. Remember, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Labor Department, they look at a basket of goods because we pay for a basket of goods when we shop. Gas, energy prices, of course, those are the main drivers of inflation. And when you look inside those numbers, you mentioned food, fastest pace since 1979, butter up 26.4%, eggs 38%, coffee 20%. What are we going to do for breakfast? We're paying those costs anyway, but other things are coming down in price. Airfare actually came down in price. Gas prices, you said it, came down in price. We're seeing reductions in some places and continued rises in others. That's why we're still at this 8.5%, which we would have been tearing our hair out of our heads a year ago. Now we're kind of used to 8+%.
Well, and these are all, these various consumer price indices that go up and go down. They're all kind of interwoven.
This motherfucker in the chat crying about the game. But, we ain't got time to be listening to all that. Good game, man.
Kind of intermixes sooner or later.
That's right. And we're paying for more in general. So if you look at across
Let's get to the next.
Increase year over year, and some things are just costing more than others because of seasonal things, because of supply chain issues, because maybe there was an oversupply of goods. So